Let's get right into it. You served almost 3 years of a 3-year sentence.
Um, I was initially sentenced to 7 years for 2 counts of armed robbery, but I had a pretty good lawyer, so he got everything to run concurrent to 3 years. But they gave me 2 strikes for the case.
Where did you serve your time?
I did majority of my time at Corcoran State Prison in California.
You were 19 years old when you got there. What was that like for you?
I mean, shit, it's prison life. What you expect? Shit, you get up in the morning, you have breakfast, you go to work, come back to the yard, work out, and chill for the rest of the day. Watch TV. I used to either listen to music, write raps, or something like that. I barely hung out outside with the Crips. Here and there I did, but not much.
At some point, you were sent to solitary confinement for 33 days, correct?
Yeah.
Can you briefly describe the circumstances that led to your solitary confinement?
Yeah, there was a riot broke out between the blacks and the white boys. Technically, I had nothing to do with it. To get technical about it, a riot broke out between the white boys and the Bloods. I'm a Crip, so I didn't have nothing to do with it. But I was, I guess you could say, I was too close in the vicinity of where it happened. So as far as the white boys go, they not taking off on Bloods and Crips. They just taking off on blacks. I'm black, so I happen to be a little too close. Me and my homeboy MD from Long Beach. It's like 4 Bloods fighting against maybe 8 white boys, and 2 Crips got involved, or should I say, got sucked up in the, you know what I'm saying, in the drama.
How did you feel when you first realized you would be placed in solitary confinement?
How did I feel when I initially knew I was going? I mean, with a funny thing, man. Initially, I got away. I didn't go to the hole that night when it happened. It was like a Saturday night. By the time the goon squad came in and shot them little bombs and shit in there, I like ducked down and like sprinted probably like 20 feet away from where the situation had happened. So initially, I got away. They took a gang of people to the hole that night, but I didn't go to the hole that night. That was a Saturday, so Monday they started investigating. So that the yard was on lockdown, and they came to investigate. Some motherfucker told on me, man. Told on me and the homie from Long Beach. They came and snatched us both up, and they initially interviewed us and questioned us about everything. I tried to play stupid, but somebody had told them too much information, so we ended up going to the hole.
How did you feel about that? Or what was your thoughts?
I mean, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I was scared shitless. I didn't know what to expect. But I mean, eventually you just kind of accept it. And being in a situation like that, you just got to be prepared for anything, you know?
What did a typical day look like for you during those 33 days?
I mean, you don't know what time it is. So I'm kind of judging time on the guard shift change. I know they change shifts at 6 a.m., 2 p.m., and again at 10 p.m. So I'm kind of judging what time it is by the shift change. But I mean, there's nothing going on. You lock down. You know how they say 23 hours? No, you lock down 24 fucking hours. You don't get out at all. I want to say every 72 hours, we're allowed to shower. And once a week, they let us go to the yard. I mean, but there's nothing happening. You sit in the cell all fucking day. And, you know, it's pretty dark. Not much light comes in. There's no light shining in there. There's a real dim light shining inside your cell. Just enough for you to, like, read or something like that. But there's no windows, none of that shit.
How did you cope with the isolation?
I mean, shit, I cope with the shit the best I could, you know. I'd get up in the morning when they serve breakfast, so I eat breakfast. Probably lay back down and go back to sleep, you know, or just contemplate thoughts. They serve lunch, so once I got my lunch, I put my lunch aside, then I work out.
What kind of workout could you do?
500 push-ups. So I was doing like 20 sets of 25 and shit like that. And I sit the mattress on my feet and do sit-ups. I mean, other than that, I play chess with myself. And I mean, I got so immersed in the chess game that even though I was playing myself, I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I moved and I go to the other side of the board, and you know, I was like I was somebody else, and I'm playing against myself. And I mean, you start tripping in there, man. You talking to yourself. I'm like, all right, what he trying to do? What you trying to do? And you really start talking to yourself in there, man. Other than that, I mean, shit, there's really nothing else to do. You sit later and think about a lot of shit. It fucks with you a little bit. I'm starting to think, you know, do my people even know where I'm at? Does my family know where I'm at? Do they know what's going on? Does the fucking prison, did they forget I'm in here? Did I get lost? So, I mean, it fucks with you a lot. But, you know, it's a form of torture, man. It's torturous to be in that motherfucker like that.
What kind of thoughts or emotions did you experience most frequently during your time alone?
I mean, shit, it's anger, regret, sadness. I wouldn't say depression, you know, but you just kind of sad at times dealing with that shit. The anger part comes in because I'm in here for some bullshit I had nothing to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing to do with that shit. So I was kind of pissed off about that. But I mean, it comes with it comes with being in jail. So I'd rather be in a hole than be in a fucking infirmary. So I defended myself the best I could, and that's where I ended up at. So I kind of accepted it. On one hand, you kind of feeling good about yourself because you you survived some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? So you feel good about that. But the circumstances afterwards is, you know, that fucks with you a little bit.
The psychological effects is what I'm interested in. What impact did solitary confinement have?
Oh, the impact? I mean, just put it like this, man. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I mean, you start, I don't want to say losing your mind, but you start like really tripping, man. And I guess coming in contact or dealing with different aspects of your personality. And there were certain days, you know what I'm saying, I felt like a little kid in there. And I was back, you know, like an 8-year-old kid and being sad and feeling bad for myself certain times. Then other times I was just, you know, I was myself dealing with the situation and just kind of, I guess you could say confused a little bit about like kind of how the fuck did I end up in this shit? You know, this ain't for me. What the fuck am I doing in here? And then other times you just kind of, you in there and you just going with the program. And like I was just, you know, just an OG gangsta ass nigga up in there and handling my business. And
Can you describe each personality?
I mean, if I was to describe the personalities, like I said, you know, on one hand it's like a kid. So it was like I was sitting in a cell with a kid in there, and I was tripping about that. Like it was me, but it was almost like I can see him, and you know, I felt bad for the kid. Then another aspect of my personality was, you know, the OG dude. You know what I'm saying? It was just the fighter. I guess you could say he protected me. So like, say if I could go back to the situation with the riot, it was that nigga was fighting. It was him. But you know, he protected me. That's how it felt. So I'm like dealing with these different things, and like I said, it fucks with you, man. So it's like I'm in a cell alone, but it's like I'm in a cell with a little kid that's kind of scared, and you know what I'm saying, shit, he want his mom and dad. The OG dude, it's kind of like he didn't like the kid. He wanted the kid to be tougher. You know what I'm saying? So he used to like talk shit to the kid. So when the kid is feeling bad for himself, the OG, you know, he come in, hey, knock that shit off. Nigga, we in here and I got your back. Quit acting like a little bitch. You know, and it was crazy, man. Then myself, I'm like trying to defend the kid and like, man, it's gonna be okay. You all right, you fine. Then I'm turning to the OG like, chill, homie, he good. You know what I'm saying? Relax, my nigga, he okay. And again, it was just me. It was damn near like I was split in 3 different personalities. And I mean, there were sometimes we all 3 just sitting in the cell chilling together. Yeah. We not talking, we just sitting there. Then there was other times we all 3 working out. I'm telling the little kid, hey, you got to work out, dude. You know, you got to stay strong. You got to be prepared. I got your back. I got you. We good. You know, and the OG, he just not talking. He just, But that shit fucks with you, man. So on one hand, you don't know if you actually losing your fucking mind and you developing multiple personalities, or you just recognizing these different personalities within yourself. But that shit was crazy, man. It was crazy.
Did you experience any specific challenges, such as anxiety or depression?
Nah, I would say no. I didn't experience any challenges really. It's just being in there. You know, after a minute, you say after a week or two, you just kind of accept the shit. You in there and just, I didn't know when I was getting out. I guess you could say if I had any, experience, just kind of wondering when I'm getting the fuck out. But they was trying to send us back to court. They was talking about, send us back to court to give us more time. And thank goodness the DA rejected that shit. I didn't really feel any anxiety or depression, just kind of, I just guess you could say like irritated, man. I was more irritated than anything.
Looking back, what was the most difficult moment for you during those days?
The most difficult moment was just not knowing when I was getting out. And, I was scared I was going to go back to court and get more time. That was the most difficult shit. And once the DA rejected it, it was just, you kind of know it's a matter of time before you get out.
How did solitary confinement affect each personality?
Sometimes I wake up and, I am the little kid and I'm missing my parents and shit like that. Then other times I'm waking up and I'm myself and just kind of like, whatever, we in here programming and, I'll be okay. And then, there's other times I wake up and I'm the OG and I just pissed the fuck off. Like, fuck this shit, cuz, anybody fuck with me, it's on and cracking, and fuck these motherfuckers. I'll fight these COs if I can, It was different, but it was like, I guess, a defense or survival mechanism you have. And it was like the different personalities protected each other, especially the OG. He protected me and protected the little kid. So it is, I guess, when you look at it like psychologically, it's just a different aspect of my personality that's, going to like that gangster mode. You know how you say beast mode? It was gangster mode,
Did you find any unexpected strengths or insights about yourself during the experience?
I guess you could say the unexpected strength was just, being isolated for so long. I mean, it's that shit is torture. So just, I guess, dealing with that and kind of accepting it. And I mean, after a minute, you don't give a fuck. I mean, shit, you in prison, so it's drama on the yard all the time. So to actually be away from that was, was almost, I guess you could say, embraced a little bit. Any insight, it was just, mentally, I knew I was strong, man. I come from a strong family, strong background, so I know I can deal with it. I mean, the insight, nothing I can really think of. I don't know. I don't think so.
How has your perspective on isolation changed after going through this experience?
Well, I mean, shit, I don't want to go back to the hole anymore. I don't want to deal with that shit, but being out and being free, I don't mind being alone. I do a lot of shit by myself. I work out by myself and I spend a lot of time at home by myself, and I'm good with that. I tap into my creativity. I rap, I write, and I do filming and shit like that. So, being alone is very imperative for my creativity to do things I need to do. Sometimes I just love to be lost in my thoughts.
What was the hardest part about reintegrating into society after your release?
There was really no hard part to get back integrated with society. I wasn't institutionalized, so I wasn't, it wasn't no problem. I came back home and everything was good. I was back, chilling with people, and it was almost like, I don't want to say a dream, but you kind of forget about that shit. You just really don't want to talk about it. Nobody really asked me about it, so I didn't talk about it really. This is actually the first time I've really talked about this shit. So to hear myself sound crazy as fuck talking about these personalities. But I had no problem, getting back into society. I was good. I was missed. So, I was just happy to be back. And I came back home and I took my ass back to school and ended up in film school and got my film degree. How many niggas got a prison record and a college degree? I'm one of them.
How do you feel the time in solitary confinement has affected your relationships with others?
I don't think it's affected my relationships. It's something about me that I just know I experienced. And I don't want to say I'm ashamed of it because, it's made me stronger in different aspects. But it's just something I never really, talk about or bring up. What's normal for for me can be extreme for other people, so I understand that. So I wouldn't expect people to understand that shit. I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody. I mean, there's a lot of times you think and you appreciate the fact that you spent so much time by yourself. You got to think in life, how many people actually just sat in a fucking room, a dark room by themselves for 33 fucking days without talking to anybody? You know, how many people can say they did that shit or experienced that? But it didn't affect my relationships with people at all. And, you know, if anything, I guess you could say I'm a little paranoid at times. I'm a little claustrophobic. I don't like strangers and shit, you know, being too close to me. And that shit, like, not that I react to it, but, you know, I'm paying attention to them and kind of, you know, like, the fuck is he doing? What you so close to me for? What you keep looking over here? So I'm like paranoid, you know, about certain shit, but I contain it. I don't really act out on it. I'm just aware of my surroundings, and like, it's almost like the OG is like, hey, watch that motherfucker right there. And I'm like, I got him. You know, what he gonna do? You know, shit like that. But just being a little paranoid and, you know, kind of claustrophobic. I don't like really being in closed spaces.
What are the ethical implications of solitary confinement in the prison system?
I mean, shit, there's nothing ethical about that shit. It's a form of torture. And, you know, it's fucked up. But, shit, ain't nothing ethical. I guess everybody's different. So, you know, different people probably deal with it different ways.
Do you think there are better alternatives to solitary confinement?
Shit, I don't know, man. I couldn't think of anything. I'm not into thinking shit like that. I wouldn't know any better ways. I mean, going back to a kid, you know, you'd rather get your ass whooped than sit and be on punishment. But as an adult, when it comes to the system, like, I wouldn't say you want to get fucked up or nothing like that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's not my place to. I couldn't even think like on that level. I don't know.
Okay, final thoughts. What advice would you give to someone who is facing a difficult situation or feeling isolated in their life?
That's tough, man, because I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't really like giving advice. You know, I give advice to my two sons because I know they got my blood. They think like me and they act like me, so we can relate to each other. But again, everybody's different, so it'd be hard for me to give somebody advice about something like that. Understand who you are and, you know, be unique, because everybody's unique individually. So understand, I guess you could say, your uniqueness, if that's a word, but understand how unique you are and just, you know, be yourself. If you're not accepted with certain crowds, you know, understand that's not your crowd. Find your crowd.
Well, thank you for being so open and honest about your experience. You gave a lot of interesting insights. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the talk, man. This shit was tough talking about this shit. I've never talked about it. You know, honestly, it's been a long time since I even thought about that. You know, I've never even discussed this shit with my kids or none of my homeboys or nothing. So I appreciate you letting me get it off my chest. Thank you. My name is Rodney Crayton, and this is 33 Days in Solitary Confinement.